But Venusaur is just looking to force the fight. He knows he has a support behind him. He's running past. He's looking for the Blissey ult on him. The Blissey ult goes off. He's going to be pedal dancing, Giga Training on everyone. The Eld ult goes on him as well. Safeguard. The Blissey safeguards himself. And Blissey gets Charizard out. He's going to die in this fight. Ooh, the Buddy Barrier from Venusaur keeps him alive for a little bit longer. Venusaur is still completely healthy. 100. All right, so AFR is confident in their double support Venusaur gameplay. And Korean team's confident in their Charizard gameplay here. And again, we're going to see an underleveled bottom lane. But in... Oh my god. What just happened top? AFR popping off in the solo lane gets a solo kill against the dual lane. That's not allowed to happen. Miva's just cracked at the game though. This top lane's a disaster now. If Miva finds a solo kill in the top lane against a dual lane, your early game is pretty much just out the window. You're playing the entire game to stack in this dual lane and to stop the Lucario from farming. But this Lucario is getting his stacks. He's got a kill. Even if he ends up dying here, he's pulled so many people, so many resources from the orange side. And now their dual lane bottom is able to farm. Or their tri-lane bottom is able to punish him. He does end up dying, which isn't great. But they're still able to punish the Venusaur in the bottom lane. It looks like orange side's going for an invade. We didn't see any of these invades work out today, so I'm curious to see if this one's going to work out. Really good rotation from the Eld to go and chase down the Lucario. Lucario has no money here as well, so he's just going to get chased down. He has his power-up punch, and he misses the mash, and he's going to get taken down by Akeno on the Eldegoss there. So good job from Eldegoss chasing him down. Another failed invade. We haven't seen an invade work the last 3 games. They got to just start... At some point, they're going to expect these teams to stop, right? Like, they're just not working. This bottom lane Venusaur, somehow in the dual lanes, about to hit level 7 for Dread, which is kind of illegal. So, Obayan finding that kind of farm is insane. And the Blissey ends up dying. This is a big problem with their comp, right? Lucario comes down, and not having a CC tank into a Lucario early game, a fully stacked Lucario, the Lucario is just going to punch your team down. And first Dread's going to end up going down to a Fire Blast. Like, that was kind of close. So, Korean team doing a pretty good job recognizing the Blissey weakness, where the Lucario just gets free reign to be able to punch people in the head. That Blissey's a Wiggly instead. The Lucario goes in, he gets Q-Charmed, he gets Singed on, the boosted auto stuns him, and the Lucario is a threat. But into this comp, the Lucario just does whatever he wants. Talon's probably farmed out. There's a Talon out. He gets the steal off of it too. Exactly what I was saying. Like, they're looking to use these ults. The Charizard's going to use this ult there to be able to siege here and look for any amount of kills they can, because they can farm it back up for the next Dread. And if they can get any amount of kills or any turns, this is a pretty successful siege. But orange side needs to not give comeback XP. Miva's looking for some insane E-speeds, and he gets a close combat kill as well. This Miva guy is pretty good at the game. And pretty big grief from orange side to keep pushing after they already got the advantage and use their Unite moves. Miva finds another E-speed combo, takes them down, and sets up 3 kills for their team. And now AFR is back in it. They're looking good on XP. Their supports are still kind of behind. And like I said, this is a big problem with playing double support, is both Blissey and Eldegoss suck at farming, so it's hard for them to get their Unite moves unlocked without winning Dreads. And they did end up losing the Dreads, so it's going to be a hard road for them to hit 9 for this. But this gives time for Korea to go and rip Dread, and because they have the superior secure and Talonflame, they're going to go take it. Blue side's happy to take this team fight after they have both the Eld and Blissey ults unlocked. I don't know if this Venusaur can pump through enough damage to be able to take everyone out. He's looking for it, though. They're just full playing God mode Venusaur. Miva showed up now with his E-speed. They can take down, get some XP here. It's going to be huge. Talon's going to look for a fly, but they're just going to run them down in death ball with 5 people here. And AFR, you know, they're sticking to the script. They're trying to get their XP. Miva dives a little bit too deep. Ends up getting caught with the Unite move on Charizard, and Charizard's going to pick up a double kill off of that. Honestly, the story of this game is just like one team finding the advantage and then just pushing it a little bit too hard. Like, if either of these teams would take their advantage, be disciplined, walk away, and just be happy with what they were given, they would be able to maintain their lead. But every time one team gets a little bit ahead, they get a little bit too greedy, and they just try to push a little bit too far, and they give back too much comeback XP. So AFR, you know, they're basically just looking to get some kills here, get back in the game in terms of XP. their goal is to constantly team fight. Double support, there's no room to farm. All they can do is team fight. So orange side needs to not give them any fights. Like, give up the Rotom, defend the Rotom on your tier 2, and just split push. No reason for you to farm here. So if orange side has a ult advantage here, this fight should be easy. But take a look at this Venusaur's level. He's level 14 at 250. He's the only level 14 character in the game. So with the safeguard, with the Eldegoss behind him, this Dread should be theirs, and he's going to be able to get this Dread, probably have enough time to go back and get the back Audinos, and he's going to be level 15 for the end of the game, which is a pretty big win condition for them. If I'm this Venusaur, I'm pressing my back button, I'm going for those Audinos and playing for my level 15. Miva's looking for E-speeds on the bees, insane E-speeds. He almost 1v3 takes on the Talonflame, but he's going to end up falling. And again, like, story of the game is they're just giving up too much XP. Like, they need to play a little bit more disciplined. The Venusaur had time to farm the top set of Audinos, but he didn't. So that's a shame now. Blissey doesn't get level 12, which is a pretty big power spike for Safeguard. But this safeguards himself, and Blissey gets Charizard out. He's going to die in this fight. Ooh, the Buddy Barrier from Venusaur keeps him alive for a little bit longer. Venusaur is still completely healthy. 100% HP, just clicking his buttons on everyone. And pretty much just solo wins that team fight with Miva cleaning up with some E-speeds behind the back. And now it should be pretty free zap rip from AFR. Miva just needs to stay, feel confident, his passive's back up. Charizard is burning here, but we have Safeguard, we have Eld coming back up. We're gonna have close combat here, and it secures the zap. Charizard dies, and this is looking like most likely game 1 going to AFR. This is a nerfed Venu, but it's on the back of a Blissey ult, on Eld ult, and it's scary. Like, the problem is Venusaur normally was going to get punished by a main tank, but Orange Team isn't running a Wiggly, they're not running a Snorlax, they're not running a Slowbro. There's no CC to contain this Venusaur. Like, they have all the damage in the world, but damage means nothing into double support. The double support's going to keep that Venusaur alive. The way you kill this Venusaur is by locking him down, and they just don't have any CC. And we're back into the game now. Any adjustments? Doesn't look like any adjustments were made. I think a tank, a traditional main tank for Orange Team would help a lot. Something like a Wiggly, something like a Snorlax even, a Slowbro, Mr. Mime. They need something. They need something to lock down these characters that just get to exist in the team fight. So really well played from Miva last time. We want to see how he protects himself in this top lane. And Miva outplays the enemy Lucario again. That 1v1 on that monkey is pure just, you know, a skill matchup. And the Lucario gets outplayed even if he pops his full heal. So good job by Miva. Pretty even split across the board. We need to get this Venusaur evolved into an Ivysaur at some point. But both the Talonflames getting stacked up. Orange side, Lucario is keeping the pressure on. Miva's going to fall. And it's going to open up the opportunity to go for a kill on Venusaur. If Venusaur dies here, gonna look pretty bad, but he's living with 1. The Giga Drain keeps him alive, and he ends up walking away. He comes back though, and I think they're not expecting. Orange side made 1 adjustment in the game. They went from Power Up Punch to E-Speed, and again the Venusaur lived with 1 HP, and he's gonna end up falling. These invades are not working out. I mean, we've talked about it every game. The invades failed, and Shua's just, you know, cracked on the Venusaur. He ends up living with 1 HP both times. But yeah, these invades are not working out. First game of the set that we're looking at, them having this advantage here, and they're gonna be able to secure Dread, get that advantage, and it's gonna instantly back knowing that there's a invade happening in their jungle. Miva, if you look on the minimap right now, Lucario is invading the enemy jungle buffs, but Charizard still has ult. So if I'm this Charizard, I'm happy to ult the Lucario in my jungle. That's time to just leave. I would have just ripped my ult there. Get rid of this Lucario. Time to get the freak out of my jungle. But it's fine. Pretty successful invade. He gets 1, but he's gonna end up just dying here. Unless no. And Lucario ends up dying, giving more experience over to the Orange team. And this is what I was talking about. Like, you know, it looks like the blue side comp is just unstoppable, but they do have vulnerabilities in the early game where if their Venusaur is behind on the enemy Charizard, they're gonna lose the Dread. And they can use that to snowball an XP lead and just open up the map for them to farm. And if it's not a full-on 5v5 team fight, it's going to be difficult for them to protect against pushes. So orange side's making the heads up play right now. They notice that Venusaur's top side defending the Rotom. They have their unite. They have some unite moves that they can leverage here, and they're just gonna 5-man push this bottom lane. They want this broken down for the Dread if they can get it, but blue team recognizes that that's what orange is looking for, and they end up defending the siege. And unfortunately, orange side can't make the push there. Charizard's gonna look for their last set of jungle buffs for the next Dread. And now we're going to have a 5v5 team fight into 5 unite moves into 5 unite moves. Slight point disadvantage for blue team. And again, same thing. Venusaur's going to run past. Guarantee that Blissey ult to land on everyone they can. Talonflame unite move kind of misses everyone. But blue side team is keeping the pressure on. The Charizard dies without unite moving. Orange side Lucario is looking for some gameplay, but Miva is just insane with the slow smoke close combo. And they end up falling, and it looks like a pretty decisive win for blue side team. Again, they went for the same exact combo. The Venusaur pops his full heal, uses Giga Petal Dance to run past everyone, and the Blissey ult comes up, knocks people up, and they win the fight off of that. Charizard does come back though with their unite move, which wasn't popped in the earlier series of fight. Lucario ends up securing it, and unfortunate, blue team, they didn't leverage their advantage off the first team fight win to be able to pull Zap or pull Dread, but regardless, it was, you know, a hard fight for orange to go for. They do get the Dread, but they end up giving away the XP back anyway in the form of some kills. So look, if this orange team lets this Rotom walk, not only do you guarantee that your top point only has a 10 overcap and the point isn't up for the enemy team to get a large overdunk on in the late game, but you also unlock a full set of Audinos for yourself. And it's a full rotation of farm. It gets your Venusaur level 13, your Lucario level 13, it gets your Talonflame potentially level 13. And they're going to miss out on that farm now. And they leave that top point vulnerable for a back cap in the late game. But if they want to play, like, the only reason you would make that play to defend it is if you want to approach the team fight from that perspective. But they go for a little bush camp. Full heal gets popped on Shua. Shua's going to potentially look for some gameplay, but they know that there's no full heal on Shua, so Charizard goes for the ult. The Blissey ult, same direction. Shua runs into the right side. Blissey ult goes out. All the ults are getting popped out. And it looks like Shua is just going to be able to stay alive in this team fight. Charizard's already zoned out. Talonflame goes down. Obeon goes down on the Venusaur. And we're ripping the Zap. It's looking like it's going to go towards the blue team side. And oh my god, the Lucario goes in for the snipe and he gets the snipe. And unfortunately, their Zap Rip doesn't end up working out. It's still anyone's game with some kills coming after Zap, but it is looking like Orange is going to be able to get at least one score off here. That Blissey needs to be stopped on the top side. They need to go back and completely defend this bottom side as well. If this Eld gets the score off, they are in a bit of danger, and the Eld ends up getting the score. And now Orange team has to make a siege. Charizard is in their base with 23. This is going to put him in the lead. He needs to instantly back. And be able to defend this siege. If Shua falls down here, the game is practically over. He needs to just back. Miva's going to look for a counter score top, which puts purple team back in the lead. Game's just insane back and forth. Oh, Talonflame ult unite move. It's going to secure this top cap with another 43. Orange is back in the lead now. And now it's anyone's game. Orange is in the lead. Another siege onto their core puts them a comfortable 100-point lead. And blue team has only one option left, but to go for a 5-man siege. Let's see how they end up playing the last 30 seconds here. They do look for a Charizard pick. Charizard has his Unite move up. He gets the pop-off. Shua gets the Blissey Unite move. He has a shield. They're going to get score shield on the Venu. They get a 100 cap. They get another cap on their core. And they're not able to stop it even with the Charizard Unite move. And it looks like AFR. 10 seconds left. And they come back with the final siege at the game. Insane. Dominating performance from the Philippines. Shua defining the meta with the double support Venusaur. The score shield, they say they don't need any other items. The score shield's enough. And they end up getting off with the dub at the end. Really, really interesting end game. Exciting back and forth there. And I'm impressed. I'm a fan of this comp. Looked really entertaining. The game could have gone either way. But that's a 2-0 win. Day 2 of the Japanese Winter Tournament does go to the Philippines. And that score shield Venu, it popped off. Well played by both teams, though. Orange made some key adjustments in the way that they approached the game. They got some insane steals. The Lucario's forced off of power punch into extreme speed and he made it work. But honestly, like between Miva and Shua creating so much pressure on the map, and both Dan and Akeno, legendary support gameplay, like both of them keeping their cores alive and just letting their cores dominate the game. So one thing, let's go back and watch this game again at the end fight, what happens in the last 2 minutes. The same thing that we talked about in game 1, where this Venusaur, on Shua on the Venusaur, what he's looking to do is he's trying to bait out a small skirmish to happen. So like right now they're playing like a little dance battle. A fight starts and they want this fight to break out. And all Venusaur's trying to do, and he's trying to book it to get behind the enemy team so that when Dan, the Blissey, ults him, he gets the knock up and he is able to take a team fight from behind the enemy team lines, which is exactly what happens. They go for a small engagement. Chua's going to look for a boosted auto. He does end up getting ulted as well. But he's just, notice where he's not even on our screen anymore. He's on the opposite side. And you can see Dan's already lining up his ult to be able to get to the Venusaur. And he's behind the enemy lines. Dan gets that ult off. And now this Venusaur is in a prime position to be able to take a team fight. And blue side, they're taking the team fight from the enemy side of the base, which means that Orange has nowhere to retreat. You know, Orange can run to the left, but they're only going to be running to the enemy side. So now they're forced to take this team fight. There's no retreating. All the ults are going to have to go off. And because they have all the support in the world for this Venusaur, you're just not going to be able to take him down. The Charizard ult's already out, and AFR is up 1 game in the series. They've got 2 kills. They're fully healthy. It's their zap to take. If they lose it, you know, they feel confident that they can come back like they do at the end game and still come back and win this game. But if you're up 1 game in the series, you got to go for the rip. The Talonflame cap. At this point, we're thinking maybe Orange is ahead. But like I said, blue side team has 1 siege to make. And they're getting all their ults lined up. Venusaur, again, same gameplay. He pops his full heal. He's going to run past. And look at Dan. Dan just lines up the long range ult. They get another score shield off with the ult. They get the Venusaur score shield and just a buddy barrier. And just look at how fat this Venusaur shield is. That combined with the score shield and the safeguard on top of it means that any damage, like this Venusaur shield needs to be broken before the score can be stopped. And they have 4 people standing on the point. The Blissey gets their cap off. Normally the Blissey would be taking bonus damage, but because the Giga Drain goes off, the damage reduction effectively gets extended to the Blissey at the same time. And that's it. That's all they need at the end. And well played by AFR, honestly. Like, you know, excited to see some international teams show up in the Japanese tourney. Both teams in this finals were non-Japanese teams. Korean team on the orange side and AFR on the purple side, they both played well. Both, honestly, like, good showing from both teams. Hype match, really fun to watch. And the Philippines ends up taking it.